Hi guys, welcome back. So, bit of a late one. So after work and after kids are all sorted, kind of upgrade. This one's actually really quickly. It's a quick one. Like with very basic tools, we can go from this sort of mirror to so what I'm going to be installing today is I've been trying out some cheap towing mirrors, but today just got delivery of something a little bit different, something more permanent. What we got is the same hima towing mirrors with an extension built into it, so they actually slide out and they got integrated indicator. So with some very basic tools, it's really easy. So we'll get these out of the box and then we'll show you what we're dealing with, and then we'll go through the really easy process of changing them out. Alright, so open the box, got a little indicator on here. Alright, so swing it around. They make it really easy. This one here, open it up, and it's actually the right hand mirror. Alright, so we went that for the driver's side. Now, at this stage, you got little pigtail at the end here. Alright, haven't read the instructions on this as yet, but it does look pretty straightforward from what I can see. So, got the right hand mirror in here. So what we'll do, now that we've got that one, I'll open up the bag and we'll show you what it is and we'll go from there. Alright, so mirror, indicator, and there's the extension, you just pull it out. And there is your wiring harness. Right, that'll connect into your factory harness. It does have another adapter here, which I'm not sure about, so I may have to look at the instructions. We'll see for now, but it comes with the new bolts. Right, it may be possible that we can't reuse the original factory ones. I will try anyway. If not, we'll swap them out for these. But on the front here, you got the bottom one is a fixed one. Right, you can actually manually change that. Right, whereas top one there is power activated. Now, it does use the existing mounting points. So you got 1, 2, 3. Alright, so if we go into here, there's the original light, original mirror, I should say. Alright, this is how real easy it is. Alright, there's a couple little clips in here, you undo. That one there is just a leverage point. There is one just there, another one just there, and another one just there. Alright, and your wiring harness here for your pair of mirrors. Now, been doing this enough with working in the workshop and also accessory fitting, doing mirror installs like this, that I am able to get in here to undo the pigtail. But otherwise you would actually remove the door card itself. Right, there's a screw behind this little plate here. I'm trying to remember, I've been in the office for too long, but there's that one there. I believe it just pulls out from the bottom, but I'm not going to be doing that one today because I don't need to. So I'm going to undo these 3 bolts, undo the pigtail, and we'll go from there. But the only tools that I'm going to be needing: flathead screwdriver. Now that I'm going to be using to undo the pigtail for the factory lights, factory wiring loom, and a ratchet spanner socket with a 10mm head, 10mm socket on the end of it. Now I prefer to use the longer ones just so it gets that little bit better inside the door cavity, but you can get away with the shorter one. It's just a little bit more fiddly. Wouldn't think that you could fit a 10mm spanner in there just given the depth of the door. So we will undo the mirrors and show you what it's like once we do that. Yeah, so Factory mirror's out. End up getting these 3 bolts undone, but there is one little trick with this. There's a little clip here you gotta push down to better release this away from the door. Now I did have to pull this door card away, right, and then reach in behind there to get to that wire that was down there. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see that, probably not at all. There's that wiring that runs in through here. If you run your hand in there and just push on the clip and then pull the wire out and run it through. All right. Unfortunately, the factory bolts won't work here, so we'll have to use the provided bolts, but that's pretty simple, straightforward. So we'll go with these. Now what you do with these, you thread these on to the points there, and then the nut will actually go, you put that through the door and the nut will go over the top of the thread and hold it in place. Now ideally it's easy with 2 people to do to hold the mirror and then thread, but it is possible to do it one-handed. You just have to sit here with this. I've opened up this window, so I'll actually feed them, put my arm through, feed it on, and then be standing on that side and put the nut on that way. Yeah, we'll get that on and we'll show you what it's like once it sets up. Alright, so yeah, we did end up having to use the supplied brackets, bolts. So the factory ones didn't work on that one. So that one there is just thread in, and then you use a 12mm socket to push them hard up against the mirror. Then you install the mirror, you got a little bit there, you use the nuts supplied to attach. Now, what I did work out with this wiring harness, there's 2 different wiring harnesses in here. Now, thankfully, I don't need to change that around, so the one that come with it is the correct one. So in here, you have the wires there, all right, and that'll line up with the wires on the factory unit. All right, so the wires are identical, so it lines up with that. Otherwise, with the different adapter wiring harness, it has wiring in a different direction. All right, good focus. See, the wiring layout's completely different on that. May just be the year of the mirror, or a left or right wiring harness, depending. But yeah, it looks like it's all integrated to work together, so straight out of the box. So that's all back together. Now, did kind of have to force that a bit. Now that'll pop back into place. Once it jams up against there, it'll hold it in place, but for now it's just a little bit loose. All right, the plastic will start readjusting itself a little bit. Might just be a little bit caught on something, but yeah, that'll push back up there, and I did have to force the plastic a little bit in order to get that wiring in there. So if you're not comfortable in doing that, the suggestion would be to take this door card off. You will have to do a little wire here for the door handle, and then some wires for here. But otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. If you can get your hand up in there to push it in, I just struggle a little bit, fat hands, but yeah, it's all working. Well, now it's got to plug that back in. That just pushes in like so. All right, there we have it. First one's in. Does poke out a bit more than the old one, so the old one would sit roughly about here, but that's the ideal. I wanted to poke out a bit, and it does have that sort of adjustment in here. All right, kind of have to force it a bit, but it does fold back in on itself and does extend out. Now, according to the documentation on this, it's an 80mm extension, so that brings it out 80 mils. But yeah, it's really just, I just bang it back in, slides back in pretty well. So yeah, and then we'll repeat the same thing with the other side, and it should be right to go. Get out on the road and give it a test and see what we can get stuck on. Now, ideally with these, when we are in a tight spot, it will be, they are pretty tight, but yeah, fold them back in on the tight tracks and then just push them back out. But with how tight that is, they're not going to get caught by the wind and being pushed back. So yeah, so far I'm happy. We'll do some testing with it and get back to you on that. But thanks guys, cheers for watching.